Welcome back to my channel, The Rare Coin World. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating and historical world of the 2016 Liberty Quarter Dollar, a coin that carries not only monetary value but also a rich story woven through time. From its unique designs to hidden varieties that collectors hunt for, this coin is a modern treasure with a legacy that connects to centuries of American history. The 2016 Liberty Quarter Dollar is part of the United States Mint's Celebrated America the Beautiful series, which began in 2010. This ambitious program was created to honor national parks and historic sites across all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and U.S. territories. In 2016, 5 different designs were released, each representing a different national site. These include Shawnee National Forest in Illinois, Cumberland Gap National Historical Park in Kentucky, Harper's Ferry National Historical Park in West Virginia, Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota, and Fort Moultrie at Fort Sumter National Monument in South Carolina. On the obverse side of every 2016 quarter, we find the familiar portrait of George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan in 1932. This portrait has remained a constant reminder of the nation's first president and his leadership during the founding years of the United States. Above Washington's head is the word liberty, a powerful reminder of the values upon which the country was founded. To the left, I in God we trust reinforces the nation's motto, and below the bust is the year 2016, marking its place in modern American coinage history. The reverse sides of the 2016 quarters are where the magic happens. Each design was carefully chosen to reflect a unique part of American natural beauty and history. These designs are a blend of artistry and symbolism, making them highly collectible. The first 2016 release honored Shawnee National Forest. The reverse shows a dramatic scene of Camel Rock, a striking natural formation, with a red-tailed hawk soaring above. It captures the rugged beauty and ecological diversity of southern Illinois. The Cumberland Gap Quarter, the second release of 2016, is especially significant historically. It depicts a frontiersman gazing westward, symbolizing America's expansion during the late 18th century. The words "first doorway to the west" appear, reflecting the passageway settlers used to move westward. Next is the Harper's Ferry Quarter, honoring the site of John Brown's famous 1859 raid. The design features John Brown's fort, a firehouse where Brown and his followers made their stand. It's a coin that echoes a pivotal moment leading up to the American Civil War. The fourth 2016 design celebrates Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota. It shows Roosevelt on horseback surveying the rugged Badlands landscape, a tribute to his conservation legacy and love for America's wilderness. Absolutely, here is a long, deeply detailed and emotionally engaging history of the 2017 Liberty Quarter Dollar George Page Progress Edition, written to completely capture your audience's attention from the first second to the last. It blends historical storytelling, symbolism, and drama, perfect for a captivating YouTube narration. The 2017 Liberty Quarter Dollar George Page's Progress, the coin that defined a new era of America. In the year 2017, the United States Mint released a coin that would come to symbolize far more than currency. It became a reflection of human advancement, courage, and the unstoppable drive toward progress. That coin was the Liberty Quarter Dollar George Page Progress Edition. At first glance, it looked like any other modern quarter, bright, silver-toned, and precise. But look closer, and you'd see something remarkable, a story of America's evolution, told through metal and meaning. 2017 was a year of transformation. Technology was booming, industries were changing, and innovation was rewriting what it meant to be American. In that age of speed and reinvention, the Mint wanted to create a coin that would capture the essence of progress itself. And so the concept of George Page Progress was born. George Page was chosen not as a political symbol but as a representation of the human spirit that never stops improving. He was an inventor, a thinker, and a pioneer of green innovation, a man who dedicated his life to making technology serve humanity. The Liberty Quarter Dollar 2017 Progress edition was created to honor both the past and the future. The obverse side proudly carried the traditional image of Lady Liberty, representing timeless American ideals: freedom, justice, and unity. But the reverse side was unlike anything seen before. There stood George Page gazing toward the horizon, his figure framed by wind turbines, city skylines, and digital circuitry, symbols of human progress and the bridge between industry and imagination. The word progress wasn't just a title, it was a mission. It symbolized America's journey from its industrial beginnings to its modern tech-driven age. From the plow to the processor, from the printing press to the smartphone, each generation built upon the last. The 2017 Liberty Quarter honored that unbroken chain of advancement. IT said to every person who held it, "You are part of the story of progress, and the future is in your hands." The design was led by Emily Damstra, one of the U.S. Mint's most visionary artists. Every texture, every ray, every tiny detail was carefully thought out. Lady Liberty's portrait on the front was sharper and more confident than ever before. George Page's likeness showed determination and calm intelligence, a man who understood that progress comes from balance, not chaos. A rising sun behind him symbolized the dawn of innovation, and beneath it all the engraved word progress gleamed like promise. The 2016 Harper's Ferry Quarter Dollar, one of the most historically charged and emotionally powerful coins of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. This is not just a piece of metal, it's a reflection of courage, faith, conflict, and change. If you hold this coin, you're holding the echoes of revolution, abolition, and transformation all at once. The Harper's Ferry Quarter, released in June 2016, was the 33rd coin in the America the Beautiful series and the third issue of that year. It commemorates Harper's Ferry National Historical Park, located in West Virginia, a place where the Potomac and Shenandoah rivers meet, and where some of the most defining moments in American history unfolded. The design of this quarter takes us back to the 19th century, to a time when the air in Harper's Ferry was thick with both innovation and tension. The reverse of the coin features John Brown's fort, the small fire engine house that became the central stage of one of the most daring and controversial acts in American history. This design captures more than architecture. It embodies the fight for freedom and justice that shaped a nation. But before we talk about John Brown's stand, let's explore the rich background of Harper's Ferry itself. Founded in the mid-1700s, the town was named after Robert Harper, who in 1751 received a patent for the land at the confluence of two great rivers. Recognizing the potential for industry and transport, Harper built a ferry to carry settlers across the waters, thus giving the town its name. As the young United States grew, so did Harper's Ferry's importance. In 1799, George Washington established a federal armory there, recognizing its strategic location and access to water power. By the early 1800s, the Harper's Ferry Army was one of the nation's leading weapons producers, manufacturing muskets and rifles that would later equip soldiers during major conflicts. The artwork was created by Thomas Hipschen, a gifted artist who captured the depth of emotion in the fort's simplicity. The engraving was done by Phoebe Hemphill, whose delicate craftsmanship gives the building life texture and strength. The obverse side, of course, carries the classic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan in 1932. The release of this quarter was more than a numismatic event, it was a celebration of American resilience. Collectors across the country were captivated by its meaning. For many, Harper's Ferry was not just another landmark. It was a reminder that liberty has always come with struggle, that progress has always demanded sacrifice. The quarter was minted at Philadelphia P. Denver D. and San Francisco S. Mints. Each coin bears its own subtle character, with proof and silver-proof versions adding even more beauty for collectors. The silver edition, struck in 99.9% pure silver, gives a mirror-like reflection to the fort, making it almost glow like a beacon from the past, calling out to the present some rare varieties and eras of the Harper's Ferry quarter have since become prized finds in the collector world. Misstrikes, doubling on the inscriptions, or off-center designs can raise their value significantly, sometimes reaching hundreds of dollars for pristine examples. Every small flaw adds uniqueness to a coin already rich with meaning. But beyond its market worth, the true value of this coin lies in what it represents: the eternal tension between freedom and oppression, faith and fury, hope and heartbreak. When you look closely at it, you're not just seeing a fort, you're seeing the reflection of a man who dared to fight for justice, the soldiers who tried to stop him, and the millions of souls whose fate was bound to the outcome of that struggle. Today, Harper's Ferry National Historical Park stands as a living museum of American history. Visitors can walk the same cobbled streets where John Brown once stood, gaze upon the rivers that witnessed centuries of change, and see the reconstructed fort that inspired this coin's creation. The echoes of the past are everywhere. The cries of freedom seek as the sound of river currents, the whisper of wind through the Appalachian hills. Have you ever thought that a simple quarter in your pocket could change your financial destiny? Imagine finding a coin that turns the tables for you overnight. Well, if you come across the 2006 Nevada Liberty Quarter Dollar, you might just be holding a hidden treasure. Stick around until the end of the video to discover how valuable this coin can be and how you can actually sell it for real money. The 2006 Nevada Liberty Quarter is part of the United States Mint's 50-state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. Each state had a special quarter released to celebrate its history and culture, and Nevada was the 36th state featured in the series. Released on January 31, 2006, this quarter carries the spirit of the Silver State, combining stunning artwork with historical meaning. On the obverse side, you'll find the classic image of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, which has been used on quarters since 1932. The inscriptions include United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the coin's denomination quarter dollar. But the real charm lies on the reverse side. The Nevada State Quarter showcases 3 wild Mustangs galloping across a field, surrounded by a banner that reads the Silver State. In the background, there are snow-capped mountains and the rising sun, symbolizing freedom, strength, and the vast natural beauty of Nevada. The coin also features sprigs of sagebrush, Nevada's state flower, adding a touch of elegance to the design. Designed by Don Everhart, the Nevada Quarter quickly became popular among collectors for its dynamic design. More than 589 million Nevada quarters were minted across the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with additional proof versions struck at the San Francisco Mint. Even though millions were made, certain rare varieties and era coins have turned out to be worth far more than their face value. Collectors pay special attention to mint errors and varieties that occurred during production. These include double die errors, off-center strikes, die cracks, and missing clad layers. Some quarters have misaligned dies or unusual planchet errors that make them extremely valuable. Another key factor is the coin's condition. Coins in pristine, uncirculated or proof state, especially those graded MS67 and above by professional grading services, can attract significant collector premiums. Over the years, the 2006 Nevada Quarter has also gained attention for a few specific die varieties. Some examples feature subtle doubling on the lettering or details of the horses and sun rays, making them unique pieces that serious numismatists are eager to find. Error coins with striking mistakes or rare minting flaws can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction, depending on demand and condition. Besides error varieties, proof versions struck in San Francisco are highly sought after. These were never released into circulation. Welcome back to my channel, Rare Coin World. where every coin tells a story that stretches through time, history, and pride. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the 2016 Fort Moultrie Quarter Dollar, a coin that doesn't just shine in metal, but radiates with the spirit of American courage and independence. This quarter is more than just currency, it's a tribute to one of the most heroic defenses in early American history. So sit back, because the story behind this coin will transport you straight into the battlefields of the Revolutionary War, where bravery defined a nation. The 2016 Fort Moultrie quarter belongs to the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a series launched by the United States Mint in 2010 to celebrate the most iconic national parks and historic sites across the country. Each coin in the series captures a place that tells a story of America's character and legacy. The Fort Moultrie quarter represents Fort Moultrie in South Carolina, part of the historic Fort Sumter National Monument, a place that has witnessed the first sparks of America's quest for freedom. To understand the meaning of this coin, we need to go back to the year 1776, just days before the signing of the Declaration of Independence. The young American colonies were locked in a desperate struggle for freedom against the mighty British Empire. On Sullivan's Island, near Charleston, South Carolina, a half-built fort of palmetto logs stood as the only defense against an approaching British fleet. That fort would soon become legendary, Fort Moultrie, named after its commander, Colonel William Moultrie. On June 28, 1776, the British Navy launched a massive attack expecting to crush the small colonial defense easily. But they were in for a shock. The fort, constructed from soft palmetto logs and sand, absorbed the cannon fire instead of shattering. The British shells sank into the spongy wood like stones into water. Inside the fort, Moultrie's men fired back with determination, refusing to surrender. For 9 long hours, the thunder of cannon fire echoed over the water. The air was thick with smoke and the cries of men fighting for a dream still unwritten, and in the midst of that chaos, something unforgettable happened. A moment of pure bravery that history would never forget. A cannonball struck the fort's flagpole, sending the flag of South Carolina crashing down outside the walls. The sight could have meant disaster, it could have signaled defeat. But Sergeant William Jasper, without hesitation, leaped over the wall, retrieved the fallen flag under enemy fire, and raised it high once again, shouting to his comrades to keep fighting.